Welcome to Unit 3, Task 2. In this task, you'll begin more work with circles. However, you'll start talking about central angles, their corresponding arcs, and the areas of sectors. In number 1, that question I'm pretty sure you might be able to answer, but I'll just read it to you. What conditions determine a unique circle on a plane? I will refer to the hint that is provided. However, in number 2, you begin your work with sectors. And if you don't know what a sector is, I'll use my pen to kind of illustrate where a sector might be. So for instance, this space that goes around, and I'm not sure that's the diameter, it looks like a straight line, but it doesn't look perfect enough. This space here that I've colored in is referred to as a sector. This space here is a sector as well. Now, of course, sectors are different in size, and as you will see in your instructional materials, sectors are always determined by the size of your central angle in relation to that angle's proportion to 360 times pi squared. So it's always your angle. That's a theta symbol, a symbol for angle. Your angle over 360 times pi r squared. That will give you the area of a sector. Now, I'm not saying that you're using that so soon, but just putting a little birdie in your ear. So, as you go through some of these questions, for instance, they say that angle, well, arc AB is L. Let's say that's L. And then, so from A to O to C is 3L. So let's go with, I don't want to write 3L, but let's say we were to chunk this into 3 parts. This will be the same as that. And they told us nothing about CD. So for right now, let's just play it safe. Let's just understand that, okay, 2 of these here were based on this one section here. Now, you're supposed to use the protractor to find the measure of these angles and to see that, or see if, I'm trying to circle the word protractor, it's not working, to see if there are any shared or common characteristics or measurements. In parts B, you're answering the questions of whether or not those angles are proportional, at least to the arcs, and then you're measuring the sides, or not sides, the lengths of segment AB, which we refer to as a chord, and BC. Okay, so down to this question, and I'm just going to refer to the questions as we look at the image. They tell us that OD is a radius perpendicular to the chord AB. We know that OD bisects the chord AB, and that that OD bisects the arc. So that the measure of A to D, and we're talking about A to D here in red, is equal to B to D, which is here in red. If you can remember what we showed in the last task, for instance, when we created those triangles. Alright? If my triangle was drawn a lot more perfectly or precisely, you would actually see that this angle, let's call it A, created here, which will actually be up in this corner, is the same as angle B, which will actually be up in this corner. So, if what I told you earlier was true regarding central angles, more or less determining the measure of an arc, if A is congruent to B, then what could you say about A to D and then B to D? Again, I'll let you be the judge. However, I do want to, in this video, get a chance to show you how to answer number 5. So let's give it a shot. The diagram below shows a swing set. If A to E is 6.5, and because of how I set up the video, I can't show all of E, but E is underneath A, as you can probably see since you have your task up. and represents the swing hanging straight down, and a child can swing 12 feet total from D to F. What is the measure of the arc that a child swings? As you get into Math 4, we'll refer to this type of question, or at least the 12 feet, let me circle it, as linear feet, because it is a distance. If we were to flatten out this curving D to F, it would be a straight line, and that is not a straight line. Something similar to that. Okay, anyway. So, the distance that we travel around what could be a circle, alright, is from D to F. And hopefully as you, what could I say? Let me do this. Nope. There we go. Alright, I was able to bring it in. Now, let me screw. There we go. So, okay, the distance from D to F is based on the distance. That is bad. Let me try it one more time. The distance from D to F is based on the distance around the circle. However, this portion from D to F is only a fraction of what could you say? The total distance around. Now, how do we find distance around a circle? Well, we use C. IRCUMFERENCE, circumference. But C equals 2 pi r. Yes? Oui. So, since we only have a portion of a circle, we're going to use the portion we know divided by 360 to equal 2 pi r. Now, there's 1 to 2 things that we really do know. Sorry, not equals times 2 pi r, and that would equal a distance or a length. And in this case, that distance, the length that we referring to, or that we will solve for, is the 12 feet. Now, I'm not sure why I'm writing at an angle or writing diagonally. So on this right side, I'm going to straighten it up. Actually, I have my tablet turned the same way. Anyway, do you know what pi is? Well, let's use 3.14. Do you know what your radius is? Well, let's use what? Hopefully you know 6.5. Alright, do you know what your angle is? No. But a lot of times people feel comfortable using x. Okay? Times 2 times 3.14 times, let me make my little dot show up, 6.5. Now, not sure why this is, let me see if I can write that again. I don't like how that looked. Okay, so let's go with x. I think because I'm trying to fit it in such a small space, times 2 times 3.14 times 6.5 equals 12. Well, I'm not going to do the rest of this problem. However, I feel that if you are, I'm just going to say dotting your I's and crossing your T's, if you're able to, get through this, I think you'd be good to go. But I'll tell you what to do. You multiply the 2, you multiply the 3.14, you multiply the 6.5. Alright, you're going to get a value. Then, you will multiply that value times x. Now, you can't really do anything. However, you'll get something like, let's say 40x. I'm just, estimating. Over 360. And that will equal your 12. It doesn't like me today. So if you multiply the 360 on both sides and then divide by 40, you have your answer. Okay? But again, me using 40 was just estimating. Of course, things are going to be a little different. However, I do wish you the best. And if you have any questions, please be sure to ask your online teacher.